What an unusual day of football we had yesterday. I'm telling you, this was the most unusual Pro Bowl game that I've ever seen. And I could see our next guest, Zach Hilbers, West Bloomfield High School quarterback coach, smiling as well. Zach, thanks for joining us this morning on The Splash.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. And what class were you teaching right now that I pulled you out of?
Yeah, we got my PE2 phys ed class going on right now. So I got my teaching partner kind of pulling double duty
Well,
right there on the other side of his door.
well, I appreciate you taking time for the community for a minute and chatting with us. First of all, did you get a chance to watch the Pro Bowl or whatever it was yesterday on TV?
You know, it's funny. I watched almost everything except the actual like football games. I saw a lot of the skills competitions and all like kind of that fun stuff that they were doing, but not the actual game, if you call it that.
Well, and we can understand. I mean, the Pro Bowl has evolved, and the last thing anyone wants to do, a highly paid, valuable NFL player, is get injured in a game that's absolutely meaningless. So the Pro Bowl has definitely evolved. There hasn't been a whole lot of contact over the last several years. So this year they decided to make it a little bit more interesting and turn it into flag football. And at first I was like, well, I don't know. But it was a lot. It ended up being a lot of fun watching our NFL players play flag football.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about some of the best athletes in the world. You get them out there running around a little bit. It's probably going to be entertaining. And I get it. Like you said, you just the last thing they want in the world is for any of those guys to get hurt when they're already playing, a pretty violent, dangerous game. So it was a cool way to kind of showcase them and recognize them with, I guess, a lot lower risk than normally they have associated.
Well, and you had all the skill guys out in the field, right? And they certainly had an opportunity, the quarterbacks and the other players, the receivers and the defensive players certainly had an opportunity to show off their skills. We saw some of that through some interceptions and a lot of fun. So it was fun, that and all the other games, a little bit crazy. The reason I wanted to chat with you today, though, is talk a little bit about somebody that you know, Matt Judon, who was with the West Bloomfield High School Lakers. Tell us about your connection to Matt.
Yeah, so it's been a while. I've known Matthew a long, long time since he was like a young kid. And I mean, probably fifth, sixth grade or so. His brother, he's got a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters. His oldest brother, Michael, is a year younger than me. So I've known him almost his entire life. Came through, played for us. You could tell that he had a chance to be really, really good, and he took that chance and he capitalized on it. And he ran with it, and it's very rewarding to see him kind of, I guess, get rewarded for all those hours of hard work and all the success that he's achieved.
And you take a look at his path, very interesting. He was part of a Grand Valley Laker football team that, if I have the years right in my head, really started to emerge when he was there. And then he goes off and plays at one of the best teams in the NFL, the Patriots. So he has really had a charmed career, all started right here at West Bloomfield.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Grand Valley has been really good and competitive at the national level at their level for, gosh, got to be almost 20 years now. So they were pretty established when he went there, and he did a good job of, I guess, keeping them at that high level. I don't think they won a national title with him there, but they had some runs, the semis and the title game. And, he had a long, productive career there, led the country in sacks, regardless of division, his senior year. And, Baltimore took a chance on him in, I think, the fourth or the fifth round. And he played for the Ravens for a few years, proved that he could play at that level and he belonged there, and was really rewarded a couple of years ago with the Patriots.
So he's had a great career in the NFL, and it's just another really wonderful connection. And I love sharing these connections with the community just to let you know the impact that little old West Bloomfield is having on the national level. It's awful exciting. And, he came through here at a time when our program wasn't quite as high profile as it is now. But now you take a look at our national signing days that we just had, and we're sending, 4 of our great students off to his alma mater. By the way, my alma mater. I always
There
love
you
it
go.
when somebody goes to Grand Valley from West Bloomfield because we're the Lakers, they're the Lakers. It's kind of a cool connection for us. But other than the amazing connection we have at the University of Michigan, we're ending up with a pretty solid channel right to Grand Valley now as well.
Yeah, I'd have to say you're correct. I mean, they just Coach Mitchell, who has been their head coach for a few years now, I think since Brian Kelly left some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was Brian Kelly, then Chuck Martin, then Matt Mitchell. So he's been there a long time. He had a lot of success, and he just left this past year to go to University of Wisconsin. And I know they're really excited about their new hire, and all our kids that are signing to go there. They were excited to hear. I think it's Coach Wooster's his name. He's going to get a chance to lead the program. But they've been good for a long time, and it's good to have really good competitive football across all divisions right in your backyard between them. Ferris State, Saginaw Valley, Wayne State. You really have a lot of these good institutions where they play good football.
And of course, we also have a very solid connection with the University of Michigan. Of course, our former head coach is there. We've got, Donovan Edwards and now more players going there that, are certainly going to be in the national spotlight. And I don't know about you, but it always makes me smile when I hear one of the national commentators during a Michigan game say West Bloomfield. Our name has been coming up a lot lately on national TV.
That's been pretty cool. Donovan really had his opportunity toward the end of the season and kind of ran with it. And like you said, you heard that name pop quite a bit. And CJ Harris started the last few games for Ohio University, including the MAC championship and the bowl game at quarterback. And it was great to be able to watch a bowl game where, the graphic has, the high school on it. Because it's cool for us, but I know how much it means to those kids too. I know how much, West Bloomfield meant to Chris Harris, and I know how much it meant to Donovan Edwards, and honestly to Matt Judon too, who he grew up here, his whole life, went to school here his whole life, and I know it matters to them. So it's pretty, I guess, cool and rewarding to see it from their side too.
Well, I know he's got to be very busy during the football season, but maybe sometime after he retires, we can get him to come back on a Friday night, get him under the lights back here at West Bloomfield. My guess is he would probably enjoy that.
Oh, he would. It's the coolest thing. That kid was such a personality, such a jokester. He's so full of life, and none of this has changed him at all. Has he probably matured a little bit since he's 16? Yeah, we hope everybody has, myself included. But man, he has not changed who he is, which is probably the coolest thing about him. I talk to him a couple times a year. He's a busy dude, but I don't care how many times he sacks a quarterback or how much money he makes or this or that. I'm so proud of who he is as a person, who he is as a father. You see the clips of him with his kids at the Pro Bowl. It's great to see, I guess, where the game's kind of taken him.
Well, and it's good that you bring that up because I get the sense from being around the program as much as I have the past couple of years that you and the other coaches are providing that same kind of leadership for the people that are coming through the program. And I hear the quotes from the players as they're making their college selections and talking about the kind of program they want to be in, the leaders they want to be around. And the positive impact that they want to have. And, I'm just so impressed every time we get a chance to interview one of the student athletes at West Bloomfield. I can't remember the last time I was let down during one of those interviews. Usually I walk away from them and I think, I think, Zach, oh my gosh, this is a 16-year-old kid,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. And no, we thank you. It means a lot for you to say that. And we appreciate those sentiments. And, we try to instill good work ethic and appreciation for, I guess, just people in general, for these kids to appreciate, what other people are doing for them, whether it's you guys that do a good job of showcasing their efforts and abilities, their teachers, which put a lot of time and effort into, their future and their success and all that stuff. And, we're proud of all those kids. We're proud of Matthew, obviously, and Tristan Jackson and Khalid Kareem that are playing in the NFL and all those kids that play college football. But, they're the ones we see every day, on TV and the news and this and whatnot. But, obviously there's many more kids that are just coming here playing high school football and starting their life 5 years later. And, we really hope those same lessons land with them too, because it's applicable to all of us. And, obviously life happens for all of us. So we just hope that they can learn a little bit about life while they're here.
Well, and without question, and you know, I can't feel guilty about highlighting the people that are on TV. That's my
No,
job.
yeah, yeah.
But you're right. I mean, the other people that come through the program that aren't going to be playing on Saturdays or Sundays, the impact that this experience has for them at West Bloomfield is absolutely no less, and we obviously see that. The other impact that I'm really excited about the program is that it is starting to become more than just mom and dad coming to games on Friday night. We certainly saw that 2,500 plus people attending most of the home games this year, and you know, I mean, that was absolutely amazing. You know, and so the community is starting to understand. You know, certainly Bellamy had a big impact, but the current coaching staff continues to carry on this tradition to grow this program into something that is more than just for the family and the parents and the students, and all the rest of us appreciate that.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate the community that's been supportive all along. And you like you had mentioned, we do owe a lot of that to Coach Bellamy for helping establish it, just really doing things the right way. I guess making a program that the community wanted to pull for, and it's a lot easier, I guess, to continue that work than it is to start the work like he did. So we just hope that we can continue it in that right direction, and we do appreciate the support we've gotten from everybody.
Well, Zach, that is really well said. You're right. You know, getting it started is one thing. Continuing to do it year after year, you know, head into the classroom, teach in the classroom, get out on the football field after school, work with these young men all year long, having the influence that you have on them. That's a handful. Tell us real quickly. We only got a minute or two more.
Yeah.
What are you working on? Anything during the off season? Does that happen at the high school level with your athletes, or are they just kind of doing their own thing and maybe hitting the weight room every once in a while? How's that work at high school?
Uh, yeah, I mean, we definitely we try to get after it, and I'm not going to say we work year round. We get a few months off after we lost in the regular the first week of the playoffs to Cass Tech. But yeah, starting about middle of January or so, I got about 40 or 50 of them in a class together, and they're working out pretty hard right now, just trying to get stronger. And if they're not in my class, they're staying after school doing the same thing, and we're kind of just doing that, kind of waiting for the weather to break where we can kind of get outside and start doing stuff and running around and moving. The state has like the rules and guidelines that we got to follow. We can't have any team activities. So usually it's that first week of June. I got to look at this year's calendar. I don't even know when it is, but I think June 1st might be a weekend. So it might be that following week. They do a good job, like themselves, the kids, of staying active and going out, and whether it's working out at this place, that place, playing on 7-on-7 leagues, like they do a real good job of, I guess, keeping the rust off. So when the snow finally melts and we can get out there, they're ready to go.
And you know, your quarterback's coach right in the heart of the offense, and this offense has been so good the last couple of years. And you know, you've also really been blessed to have a lot of people on your team, not only your
Okay.
starting quarterbacks, but other people who can throw the ball. You know, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
so it's made it really exciting. Anything you want to just mention that you're excited about in your preparations for next year's campaign?
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're definitely excited. We have a good group of kids, but they think they work pretty hard. They're focused, and they know that they got potential, but that only means so much, and they have to kind of follow through just to give themselves a chance and an opportunity to get to where they want to be. So they've done a real good job of that. We're definitely excited about like the direction we're going, and I've kind of always said that good players make coaches look a little bit smarter. So we're going to have some good players that make me look a little bit smarter.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Thanks for sharing your stories about Matt. That's one of the main
Absolutely.
reasons we wanted to get with you this morning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
good to chat anyway. And thank you for joining us. I appreciate you taking a minute or two for our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys.